time for the matchup I know I have had circled, highlighted, and in bold since the beginning of the day. It's RushieZ versus Defiance, a battle of the full-blown pro team in RushieZ versus a team that got together and said, you know what? All ex-former pro players, some champions on the squad. Maybe we can make some noise. They've been streaming, they've been grinding as well. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. I'm so incredibly excited. We got Ryan back on the desk with us to break it all down. Ryan, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's been a great day. Pool play has given us some really, really cool actions.
Muted, Ryan, I think.
Oh, my mic's muted again?
In Discord.
Mouse moving, I don't hear anything.
Oh.
In Discord. We can
I'm muted again. I'm sorry, guys. Fran was on my setup, and the mics are all muted. This is like my second mic muting. Apologies. I'm getting back into
Fran's fault.
I'm getting back into the seat. I'm blaming Fran for that one. The first one was totally me, but I'm feeling good. Pool play's been great. I think you guys heard that before. I think my analyst couldn't hear me, but no, it's been really, really cool. I'm excited for this match. This is like you, John. I had this one circled on my sheet as well. That whole Defiance roster in general, right? They're just such storied players. Having them come out of Challenger throws quite the wrench, I would say, into some of the mix, especially in that pool. So this should be a good one.
Yeah, speaking of that Defiance roster, let's go ahead and take a look at the roster. For those that are watching, maybe they tune in for major days and haven't been watching Challenger Circuit. Hey, take a look. Kenny and Lava, the return of the Bounce brothers, back on a squad once again since the Optic Gaming days way back when. Maybe we feature alongside Toti and Cellz. Cellz kind of the new gun to this team. He kind of came up in Gears 5, was on the Hive roster, looks so incredibly strong. So he's going to bring that fire. And of course, Toti, we all know what Toti brings to the team as well. Meanwhile, on the flip side, let's talk through the RushieZ roster as well. It's Avexys, RushieZ, DeTox, and INZEM. This is a squad that's stuck together through thick and thin ever since franchise retired from this team. Obviously, INZEM filled some big shoes there, and Avexys, well, he had to step up as an IGL for this team. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they continue to rise up in the overall pro league, in the pro standings throughout the major. They always do well in pro league. Number 1 seed coming in, but the question for them is, Ribs, do they show up on Saturday and Sunday? And I guess we'll just see.
Yeah, no, I've gotten on the RushieZ bandwagon a bunch of times, but this time around, I do want to say it seems like they have a sense of urgency. Yeah, I mean, they know there's only 2 events left. We had the announcement. RushieZ, as an org, has been part of Gears Esports for a long time.
Wow.
We love them. We love Avexys being the face of that org. He's such a great player, great personality, great role model. But you have to get that championship to kind of cement yourself in Gears history, and they know time's running out. So it's now or never. We talked about it. On the side of Defiance, on paper, that roster looks amazing. That's all I'm really going to say. I think that roster can be amazing. I don't think they have that same sense of urgency, though, that RushieZ has, in my opinion.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to want it, right? And this RushieZ squad has never won a championship. And did Fran win a championship with RushieZ? I don't think he did. Blanking.
No,
he didn't.
No.
Never happened. RushieZ, similar to LATAM, has not hoisted that trophy yet, but like you said, has been in the Gear scene since the very beginning. We have our big hearts and a lot of love for the RushieZ organization.
Yeah, no.
Bands, though, starting with bands. Ryan, talk perspective.
Yeah, so we take a look at these picks and bans. You're going to see Ritual Control being banned by Defiance. I do like that pick. We do know that this RushieZ team has been strong on Ritual. And another ban I like a lot is going to be Defiance banning Canal's Execution. We know how strong RushieZ can be on Canals. It's one of their favorite execution maps. We're talking about how strong Avexys has been. So those 2 things stick out for me the most. Obviously, RushieZ, they are the favorite coming into this. So not a ton that sticks out to me necessarily with their bans, but I think Defiance did a very, very good job with theirs.
Meanwhile, talk me through the picks.
Yeah, as they pop up on the screen now, we're going to see Reactor Control for the first time on the mainstream today, and that's going to be Defiance's pick onto Checkout Execution. That's going to be a fun one. We know Kenny can be so strong on that map. Map number 3, Vasgar Escalation. As we said, that's been one of the most played Escalation maps throughout Pro League. Not surprised we're seeing it a lot here in the Spring Major, day number 1. If we get to map 4, District Control, onto Tomb Execution, map 5. One of my favorite execution maps. I really like this cycle. I want to say RushieZ is favorited on pretty much all of these maps because they have just been such a strong team throughout this split. And yeah, I just can't wait to see our first Reactor Control. Defiance, both of these teams, you look at it, both of them are 75% map wins so far today. Both of these 2 teams look very strong. Lost 1 map, I believe, in both of their series. This is a battle to see who comes out with first seed in that Pool A, the death pool that we called it early on in the opening segment. So this is, in my opinion, the match of the day.
Yeah.
By the way, I do want to point out, when it comes to you mentioned, Jordan, how this is like the fight for the pool. We took a look at the schedule last time I was on the desk, and we saw Fury 1 up 1-0 against Defiance. I'm pretty sure Defiance won that series 3-1. So I think we're back to the same old story, right? Every time I look down, Fury 1's up 1-0 against a really, really good team, and then it somehow ends in a 3-1.
It's crazy to think about. That is the meme of Pool A and the meme of Fury 1, if you will. But yeah, Ribs, you hit the nail on the head. I was actually pointing that out earlier. It's the battle of the undefeateds, 2-0 versus 2-0, Defiance versus RushieZ, and the battle of the defeateds, Fury 1 versus an MC. And what's so interesting is the defeateds and the undefeateds have the same exact map win percentage, 75% for the undefeateds and 25% for the defeateds, the two teams that are 0-2. So it's pretty split even here so far in terms of what the stats say, which is so interesting about this whole affair. And I'm so excited for this game coming up. And let's go ahead and jump right into Fran's keys to success or keys to victory here. I'm interested to hear, did he? No, all right. He didn't meme with the dad jokes this time. I'm happy to hear it. Ribs, talk to me about through the RushieZ keys of victory.
Yeah, I love this first bullet point so much. Don't overlook. He's basically saying don't sleep on Defiance. We talk about Kenny and Lava. They're multi-champions, former Optic Dynasty. Kenny, arguably one of the best players to ever play Gears, and I don't think anyone's going to argue otherwise. So these are teams with champions. You can't sleep on them. They're undefeated in challengers. They know that doesn't mean as much because they're all former pro players. Not to mention, I still put Toti and Cellz up there as some of the most skilled players in Gears right now to this day. Continue to shoot for each other. Let your chemistry shine through this match. RushieZ can be a team that could shoot so well together, team fire, they could play together so well, but they're also there's a few players on this team, I'm not going to name names, that can get greedy at times, and there's a time and a place for that. I'd like to see them use their teamwork to win this matchup.
Love that. On the flip side, Defiance, Ryan, talk to me.
Yeah, they're going to have to make the first rotations, right? Don't get caught in the middle of the map by yourself. Of course, you know Fran, I put the keys of victory. You know Fran likes his rotation. He's an in-game leader, so of course he's throwing that one on there. And then checkout's going to be a very, very big part of this series. I do agree with Fran. They are going to have to get that checkout execution over this RushieZ team, because I think if they do not get that map, that might end up making it a pretty short series.
Well, that's a good segue into predictions for this one. And of course, gameplay's right on the corner and ready to go. So let's keep it quick. Ribs, who you got?
I'm gonna go with RushieZ. 3-1, I believe, 3-0 maybe even. I think this could be a close matchup. I kind of went with Rebel earlier versus the Knights, but I think the rest of the night is going to be pretty clear cut. Hard one to call for the most part, but I'm going RushieZ.
Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going to go with RushieZ as well. I do like the bans that Defiance did put out, so I think that they put themselves in a position to potentially make this a long series. But coming to this, keep in mind, guys, RushieZ is our #1 seed, right? I know Kenny, Toti, and the boys, I know they don't belong in Challenger. They're a higher caliber than Challenger, but this RushieZ team has been looking very strong. You guys mentioned it, a huge sense of urgency, a ton of motivation heading into this event, so I am going to keep rolling with them.
Map count?
I'll give them a 3-1. I think that they can take the execution.
Ooh, all right. Execution on checkout, won by the boys on the Defiance side. I'm going to go with RushieZ as well, as much as I want to give my energy to my boy Kenny, Egghead himself. Excited to see what he can do. This squad wants it, and like I said, it comes down to whoever wants it more. I got RushieZ winning it 3-1 as well. I think Defiance takes a map. So that's going to be it for us here on the desk. It's time for the matchup that I've been waiting for. I've been excited for. Battle of some of the greatest since Gears 3 to do it. LavaBounce, KennyBounce, the Bounce brothers playing against one of the greatest currently in RushieZ. That's going to be it for us. I'm going to go ahead and throw it right over to Colin, the Crow Clark, and PR to call the action.
Thank you so much, Analyst Desk, John, Ribs, and Ryan. You guys are fantastic at breaking down every possible angle that we might see in this match, whether they be nerdy or obvious. You guys got all the bases covered. Jacob, are you half as excited for this matchup as I am? And I say half because you see the other half of that bottom screen up, not that way on me side, but that side. It's on to you. It's on to you.
You know as well as I do. This is like our birthday. This is like Christmas, the 4th of July. Any reason to celebrate, this is going to be the one. This is going to be an excellent match. It's going to be exquisite.
Yeah.
And there's no doubting it, but it's not going to be easy at all. Defiance, they are going to have their hands full because they're going up against RushieZ. They said it, the #1 team throughout the regular season. They have a chip on their shoulder. But when I look at this matchup, I think Defiance did a very fantastic job when it comes to the picks and bans. And I think one of the biggest things they need to do, and it's not going to be easy, Colin, and I definitely don't know how, is not allow RushieZ to get heated up. Because when they get things going, it's like a bus. You cannot stop that bus without anything.
And you better get the license plate, the driver. You better find out their insurance company, who they working for, who they working with, who sponsors the damn bus, because that bus will hit you and it'll just keep on going. You'll be laying in the middle of the street looking up saying, why? Why'd you hit me so hard in the middle of this crosswalk? Didn't you see it said I should walk? I didn't even try to run. I just was doing my job. I was just living my best life, and you ran me Oh,
A
but
Mack
there's
truck.
there's 4 dudes on that other team that don't like to get run over by nobody. There's 4 dudes on Defiance that if anybody has a chance to upset the balanced order, week in and week out in E-Days, they kept losing to the eventual winner of E-Days. And they were taking them to map 5s. Every map was close. It was the headache from hell. Are we waiting on the one player that I think it is, by the way, voice of God? I have to ask.
Who is it? Guess. Yeah. Guess. Who did you think it was?
No, wait. Toti, I love you. Thank you for not making me love.
Why did I have to ask?
I love you so much, Toti.
That makes me ready because guess what?
Oh, wait. No.
I was about to say, man, I thought we were waiting on Kenny for a moment. But honestly, you know what it shows to me? Toti is ready. He's not waiting. He's not wasting any time. No more side talks. No more talking about what's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right now, Toti said, there's 4 men in front of me, and I'm ready to make them all disappear like a magician.
You say this means that Toti's ready. I say that this means Toti is biding his time to torch it later. He said, if I show up on time now, I can torch it later. He's buying credit. He's got a good credit line going with us right now. So we are just waiting on the players to get ready, get into their spots, get in their spawns for map 1 to start. But, Jacob, like I was saying, you look at Defiance, you look at Toti, multi-time runner-up here once we moved to online with multiple different squads, really. I mean, Fire and Ice Noble, so on and so forth, going all the way with those guys, especially with Dyslexic and Fiercely by his side and Exploits. He kept making it to the mountain peak, but not the top. Then we see a guy in Cellz who has consistently made a name for himself as being one of the better slayers on the planet, but for some reason kept getting bounced around like he was one of the top tier running backs. Everybody knew what he was capable of. He got the job done. He made sure attention was brought to him, but you just didn't pay that man. You knew he was a running back. You might be able to find somebody else that fills his shoes, but ain't nobody able to fill that man's shoes when he gets a rolling. And then you look at Lava and Kenny, the pedigree that they have, the history they have, the amount of championship titles under those guys' belts that they have. They are 4 guys that want to upset that balanced order. They don't want us to look at this as a 4-dog to 4-horse race. They don't want. They're sick of hearing Pittsburgh Knights, RushieZ, Pioneers, and E United. It's just droning on Pittsburgh Knights and RushieZ and E United and Pioneer. No, they want it to be Defiance, Pittsburgh Knights, RushieZ, E United, and Pioneers.
We all thought it. We saw the glimpses, we saw the hope in E-Day, and we also said, as much as they're known technically as a challenger team, this ain't no challenger team. This is a team that's ready to steal away a pro league spot when that relegation does come around. So this is just a taste. This is just the start of what Defiance is hoping to be a great run to finish out Gears Esports.
Defiance definitely wants to be definitive in their spot in Pro League next split. Let's see if they can start that campaign with a big win to go 3-0 on their pool, to go over RushieZ, and to take a higher seed going into bracket play than RushieZ. Having that better position, that's what I think a lot of these teams always forget about. You finish first in your pool, you got a better shot in bracket, a better spot in brackets. You don't have to face, you might have to go against the Pioneers of the Knights in round 1. You might not have to see United round 1 and winners. You might have a bit of an easier time going into that bracket play if you just finish that first overall seed.
I'm just waiting to see right now. I'm at the edge of my seat, calling my feet can finally touch the ground for once this month, but I'm waiting to see the return of the House of Bounce, the Bounce Bros, Lava and Kenny, because we knew how threatening they were in Gears of War 3. We know how deadly they were in UE and Gears 4, but now is their chance to reclaim that top spot, as it's though RushieZ that gets that first couple of initial kills. Kenny tries to get the torque bow. Lava's gonna fall. So even though Kenny's the last one standing, that's a big tool in his toolbox that he can use to try to make a comeback happen.
Yeah, 3 bolts left in his quiver here, and Kenny's starting to try to find this angle, this 45. He's already been marked, and I like that early mark by the side of RushieZ. It lets them know where the power weapon's probably going to come from. Cellz in the middle of the map is actually going to have the cross angle here, and all of Defiance is coming in from the same side. So Defiance is banking on Cellz, hitting some decent shots. The shock will come out of the front side, but oh my goodness, those nades are about to go out. One nade about to maybe explode, and it's gonna catch Lava after the snub shots. Beautiful first hill here, Jacob. by RushieZ. They will hold on to not only the first half of this hill, but basically every last kit and caboodle point of it before having to think about even trying to rotate. But look at this. Look at the good respawn by DeTox. DeTox and INZEM spawn behind the last two players of Defiance, and they're going to have the early rotation over to P2.
Oh, nice shots by Cellz. He was at least able to get one, and RushieZ going down. That's a big one because I was about thinking he made a smart play not to waste that second grenade in the situation. The longer he holds on to it, the better success RushieZ will have at the end of the day. So getting him out of play is going to be a huge on the side of Defiance, but they have to start chaining this together. Cellz and Kenny, they're able to get one, trying to cement themselves towards the backside, but nobody is there. The damage is coming out of RushieZ. They're forcing them back inch by inch, including some splash damage, but Kenny's going to get taken down.
And that's what Kenny was hoping to do with his own torque bow, but it'll be DeTox finding that pick right there. Now DeTox backside of this cubby corner is in a bit of a bad position if a set of frags or maybe a shock lands at his feet. That's a neutralization spot. You get to sit there pretty free and clear unless somebody throws one of those utilities at your feet. Cellz is going to bounce up into that cubby corner. No chance for a pushback just yet. Defiance is just waiting in the wings, unsure what exactly they might be waiting on, whether it be that respawn on one of the set of utilities. There's the shock over the top, gets the down onto RushieZ. Beautiful shock grenade. I mean, my goodness, that had to be thrown picture perfectly.
And all that time being wasted, they finally contest the hill. Kenny gets the torque bow in hands yet again. Back-to-back bows. The egg work strikes again. There goes a full-on wipe. Defiance takes out RushieZ. They get scrap time, though, Colin. That's the only worry. About 25 seconds total on the clock. Less than that if they look to rotate a little bit sooner. And that's where Kenny, once again, trying to be the leader, trying to be the tip of the spear, lead by example. Rotate all the way over, but you notice he's not biting off more than he can chew. Taking it step by step, knowing around any one of these quarters could be a member of RushieZ.
You don't want to find yourself getting picked off early, giving them another pretty good setup to deal with. Kenny now revving up that torque bow, shot to the bottom corner, won't find any bit of damage even, just that's going to be a wasted shot to the bottom. We'll force them to rotate out. RushieZ with 2 frag grenades. These are about to be perfect. These are about to be 2 kills here. Seeing one. No, I thought it was a little bit further than that, but it doesn't catch him. Now the second one comes in. That'll be Cellz roll. No, that was, I know you died, but that was such a smart move. If he didn't go down right there and he just rolled front of that frag to get away from it, it would have been absolutely brilliant. But now it's a 4v3 over here. They're going to down onto Lava. Lava stuck in that cubby corner. Kenny's going to go in for the trading revives. Dude. Both of them are going to get cleaned up. RushieZ, picture perfect retake. After the initial pick, they take the 4v3 and settle it in now to 4v1 as Cellz has to kind of just roll back and hope that he gets some teammate help.
That was a beautiful bait and switch coming out from RushieZ. They sent 2 players to rush in, take the brunt of that damage, and then you saw them switch position to make sure they got the eliminations. And now, fresh off the respawn, Defiance is trying to make something happen. They're going in as solos. The cross, the team fire from RushieZ looking oh so strong. They got continuous downs, continuous eliminations, and they cement themselves towards that next hill yet again. But the biggest thing, Colin, isn't necessarily just the hill, but it's the spawn point. You saw moments ago Defiance trying to fight that uphill battle. Not look so good for him before.
I think what we need to be concerned with here is just the lead that RushieZ has amassed. It's a 90-point differential, and Defiance is going to have to fight back into this by having a couple of hills in a row that they just dominate to be able to even make this thing close. And right now, Kenny's going to be tagged up from the middle here. He's going to be lancing out. Kenny bouncing around as best he can, but INZEM will just bide his time, wait for the single shot down, gets that to go. And now RushieZ continues to push up here. A couple of downs are in for RushieZ. One more big shot by Toti needed to be hit onto Avexys, but Avexys finishes him off, gets the torque bow and the hill yet again.
RushieZ doing a good job staying in control of the game regardless of the weapons going over to Defiance at any moment. Defiance, on the other hand, it just comes down to execution is where they're falling short. They're making some good rotations. They're getting the weapons, finding some elims, but when push comes to shove and cementing themselves in the hill, that's where they continuously all falling short. Another opportunity here. Frag grenades going out. You got to think torque bow as well. Cellz trying to make a play, getting that down on the INZEM, but 2 frags are going to cement themselves. INZEM doing the damage. Cellz, the last hope. There's only so much one man can do.
Now we see what Cellz is going to be able to deal with as he's going to get lanced out from the 45. Big shot onto DeTox. It gets a trade out here. Absolutely huge for the side of Defiance, but not really what they need. They need to start winning some of these hills. They need to start getting some of these points back because that is the thing that is killing them right now. 150-point differential. It's only to 300, and RushieZ continues to just pour it on here, beating them into oblivion. This has not been the map one I think Defiance wanted to see.
They've scored about like 6 points through 2 different hills, Colin. Not what you want to see at all, regardless of who it is. The Cellz goes down. Nobody able to be that hero. Torquebo is going to connect. Toti falls as well. RushieZ doing a good job of displacing 2 more members, but this is all for scrap time. Kenny gets one, taking out Avexys. That's a big player to take out as well, because not only is he having that MVP season, he had the Torquebo and was already beginning to heat up.
Now we see another set of hills coming through where this will spawn up and everybody will try to push over to it. RushieZ already inside of the hill. Those are going to be the flashbangs by DeTox. DeTox trying to hold down his angle. Full red. You see, I think it was Avexys, or INZEM, excuse me, tries to rotate over. And real talk, Jacob, RushieZ has looked better in this map than I think they even did in their first series of the day. They have been so succinctly perfect in every single fight that they have encountered that I'm sitting here just scratching my head. I'm like, my God, if this is the RushieZ we're going to get all weekend, they are definitively going to be the team to beat. They finished up first in Pro League, and they are just putting everybody on notice right here.
But the INZEM almost getting that ace finally. He said he gets taken down by Cellz. He's trying to make his way, but he's doing it right now a little bit ahead of the rest of the team, but they have to. They have a 4v2 for a few seconds. DeTox falls. RushieZ grabs the Torquebo. Avexys at least trying to take one with him, but he gets 0. There goes about 30 seconds, give or take, up for grabs for Defiance, but Colin, that's absolutely nothing. RushieZ have a chance to set themselves up, not only with the Torquebo, but for that next hill, get the high ground. And I think that's the thing that RushieZ is doing absolutely perfect when they set themselves up on these corner hills. They're always holding on to the high ground.
And that's the thing that's even more, oh my goodness, what a Torquebo there from RushieZ. And now it looks like RushieZ is going to push back into this 90-degree angle with his teammates. One Lancer was in front of him. He didn't allow for him to push out toward him. I like this angle from RushieZ. If he holds this down, anybody that pushes across from that mid lane could get picked off pretty quickly. Up A's around the corner, doesn't rev the torque enough. It actually rebounds off of that player, misses the next one. He's full red. DeTox goes down as well. Avexys in with 1 revive. There's the cleanup kill, but did they get RushieZ out? They got out, he got a kill!
She's still alive. Flash grenade towards the backside. You said he got one, but that's where it ends. Cellz yet again trying to be the driving force for Defiance. Backing a couple players down. 60 seconds up for grabs, Colin. They got to be as close to perfect as possible, which isn't going to be an easy task. They already spot out 3 members of RushieZ. Brute force their way in towards the corner. Almost uncontested. Toti has no choice but to back off.
Now you see another set of slays attempted by Defiance. They're going to get shots here at the 90-degree. Toti has to push up. He gets one down, but he doesn't help his teammates enough to even help them stay alive long enough to help him. He couldn't help them to help himself, and this is going to be more bad news bears. If RushieZ can hit one more shot, he's full red. RushieZ pulls the snub. RushieZ melees him down, but the revive is through. Lava saving Toti at the final moment. That could have been possibly the play of the day by RushieZ if he had pulled that bad boy off.
I thought you were going to hit us with the staying alive, because Toti, you know that's his song. That's his #1 single, top of the billboards. But right now, RushieZ are trying to take down that billboard all together. DeTox getting a Torquebo. Lava trying to get aggressive while they know they have the advantage, but Toti's getting back down. Great help from Lava to secure that elimination. Give themselves a man advantage on rotation. 243, only 57 seconds needed for RushieZ to close this one out. And already you see the 3 players trying to threaten that defense, where only 2 players are set up on the side of Defiance.
Now you see DeTox to the right-hand side of this next hill. It is the initial hill, ladies and gentlemen. So we have made it through our first set of hills. Looking to try to get a new set of slays and continue their comeback. That's a big misfire by Avexys. He picks off RushieZ. Torquebo to the cubby there of the corner where Cellz is waiting. Another bolt comes out. Cellz manages to avoid that one. And now he pulls the Nasher out, waits for one player to try to backslide into him, gets that one, double bounces toward INZEM, but doesn't get hit. Now INZEM and a teammate, I believe, have the 2v1 on a Kenny. They get the kill. Now Lava and Toti will push up those small hills, looking for the next shot on. Lava with a misroll, gets taken down by the second L trigger, and INZEM, he's cleaning up the good Lord and everybody around. 40 points to go for victory.
Yeah, Kenny and Cellz there, man, they just need to be able to stay alive, buy some time, especially after getting that big elimination. I do believe it was onto RushieZ. That one went out the window. Winnable on this hill when it comes to RushieZ. Kenny gets shut down. They're holding on. About 25 seconds needed. Over 30 seconds left on the clock. A couple players getting spotted out. RushieZ, the damage is there. Cellz gets dropped. Kenny's in the corner, but I don't know if RushieZ saw him. All he knows is Toti's there in front of him. A flank is coming through. DeTox is trying to hold it with his right hand and try to blast away any opponents that come his way. 3v1. What can DeTox do? He gets one, Colin. Still staying alive, bouncing around. He finally gets shut down, but only 11 seconds needed for RushieZ.
And RushieZ, I mean, they're on the prefaces right here. They need to get one more couple of kills here. Big back air over the top by Cellz. Now it's INZEM looking to be the possible next victim of Defiance. They've got one player behind them. They're going to be able to push back into this next fight. They've got to get across the map. DeTox is already in position. Sees the first mark. One player bouncing around in front of him. Revving the torque. Goes for the long shot across the middle. Won't be able to hit it. Doesn't hit the second one. Nade goes off in front of him. No damage really done. 7 seconds to go. DeTox with an arrow to the backside of that computer stand. Won't be able to get that next one as well. This will be DeTox looking for the next shot. He's not going to get that one either. DeTox has had plenty of arrows, but no success yet. Team fire from Defiance finds yet another kill. RushieZ, they need to get a set of slays. They can take all the time in the world. That is where they are succeeding. They have put themselves in a position here to play this as slow and methodically as necessary to try to get one more set of slays. Neutralization in and through, but not true. That'll be another cut of kills for Defiance. Can they break the 150?
And somebody's going to have to prove, Colin, that they're a strong man in the strongman competition. With the amount they're going to have to hold on, 7 seconds. They cannot leave any scrap time because that's all winnable for RushieZ as a couple players are charging forward. Shock grenade in the hands of RushieZ. And honestly, it almost looks like RushieZ could be playing for next. And if you look at the minimap, everybody from RushieZ are trying to get out of there alive. But DeTox gets caught on rotation. Avexys trying to make a play. That's 2 big elims once again for Defiance.
Defiance has to continue this train of momentum. They have to continue to apply the pressure time in and time out. They have to make sure that they are able to get every single kill on the map. Cellz flies on the flank, gets 2, now looks to burn a 3rd. That's going to be another down on the RushieZ. Avexys waiting inside of the hill, tries to get that first point and doesn't even have the chance to stay there long enough to take it from 7 down to 6. RushieZ will come off of respawn here in an attempt to try to push back into this. INZEM will go down as he rotates around that cubby corner. Not enough damage happening just yet for them to really feel confident in their retake, in their pushback. Another down onto INZEM. INZEM will be on his last down and out, by the way, Jacob.
They're all just getting crossed, trying to hop back up. That's going to be a good one. INZEM with the frag grenades. His teammates are going to be the ones leading the charge and hopefully to follow up soon right behind. First one's going out. Surely it nets himself an elim. There goes one. Another player able to stay alive. Kenny towards the outside. They're getting funneled in. They have to make something happen here. They're taking so much damage, Colin. Kenny goes down. It's all up to Toti here with the pressure of the world on his shoulders. He falls. Lava's turn. He goes down. One last member with the world on his shoulders. Cellz. It's up to you, baby, as he gets a big shot on the one, bouncing around. The numbers game is too much. He gets shut down, and RushieZ finally closed out map number 1.
Jacob, RushieZ looked absolutely picture perfect for so long in that map. They gave up a ton of points back over to RushieZ around the 3/4 mark after we reset the hills. But in the end, none of it matters. No matter how many points Defiance was able to accumulate in that map, no matter how good they played for as long as they played, none of it mattered because RushieZ was able to do what so many teams fail to do, which is just right the ship, just settle their tea kettle and get one last set of slays to win a map. That is the impressive thing to me. I talked about it earlier with the United. Having the ability to come back, to resettle in, to make sure that they make the right plays going forward is paramount. It's tantamount. It's the most important thing you can do come major time. You can be great at initials. You can be great at retakes. You can be great at defense. But if you cannot close, you cannot win. There is no doubt and no bones about it. You've got to learn to close maps out. RushieZ is proving that here and now against an incredibly gamey contender in Defiance.
And that's why I always say it, especially when it comes to like the top 4 teams. You can sprinkle a couple of here and there after that. But one of the biggest things for me is you have to get some sort of early lead if you are the underdog, because the potential to come back will always be there. RushieZ got themselves such a massive lead. Cellz and the rest of Defiance, they were doing a good job, but they just talked to each other. Tranquilo, paciencia, calm down. We don't need to rush anything. And that's exactly what you saw him doing. RushieZ backtracking in place. Even though DeTox got taken down, everybody on RushieZ was in the same page.
And I think that's what I just continue to harken back to, the way that RushieZ, no matter how many good kills they had throughout the map, I am still beside myself with how well Lenny or INZEM and RushieZ both played their lives for so much of that map, where they were able to just roll back, they were able to play around their teammates to get kills and damage before finishing off different sets of players from Defiance. That is the thing that kind of sticks out to me, sticks with me, is that RushieZ is able to just do that, and they have multiple players that are able to do that. I mean, you take away, think about that. We just saw one, and I want to mention this. Take away the two active Torque team kills, and that map might have been over 7 minutes earlier.
Yep. Definitely, it definitely could have been right there, but obviously that's why we play it out, Colin, because one mistake can easily turn the tides. You got to be able to capitalize on it. And honestly, Defiance was doing a fantastic job capitalizing on mistake after mistake. But honestly, coming into this next one, I would think when it comes to game types control, it would be a RushieZ favor. Obviously, they're better on the game type. They've been a team longer. The strategies are definitely set in place. But checkout, I think that's going to be Defiance's big hope when it comes to these execution maps. You get Sniper in the hands of Lava or Kenny. You know they know how to play for that plat side and the instance. You know, coming from that history, Gears of War 3 is in their blood. They played checkout so many times. I think they just have the depth. They're going to have the strategy, and they're going to have the adjustments needed to tie this series up.
I think they've got to be concerned with the exact opposite. You talk about getting the snipe into a hands like a guy named Lava, but I look at it as the exact opposite end of the spectrum.
I know where you're going.
You've got to prevent the snipe from going into the hands of a guy like Avexys. You've got to keep a guy like RushieZ from dictating what the pacing is going to be, whether he goes for the frag grenades, whether he comes straight up into the platform fight, makes it 4v4. Those are all the things that you got to be worried about. That's what makes RushieZ so deadly on checkout, in my opinion. They have so many different looks they can show you, they can throw at you, that I really do believe this is going to be one of those paramount matchups we see all weekend. Defiance and RushieZ are two of the best teams on the planet. Defiance is at the doorstep of all these top-tier teams. It's only a matter of time before they break through, really.
Honestly, and the pressure is definitely on. You have multi-time champions on the squad of Defiance. You have some of the best leaders in Gears esports. Go ahead.
You say multi-time champion.
Multi-time champion.
If Franchise is still the defending champion because he was the last team to win on LAN, does that mean my dad's also the defending champion?
Defending LAN champion. I mean, defending LAN could be, but also he's going up against the other defending LAN champion. RushieZ is on that squad.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
LAN champion versus LAN champion.
Could you imagine that squad like still together though? Like Rush, Ice, Fran, Kenny, and Powers. Good gracious! Like,
let me ask you a question.
I know it can't happen because we do 4v4 now, but just those guys all.
With all five of those names, you named 5 people. We switched to 4v4. Let's say they keep being a team. Who gets taken out?
Anybody not named Kenny or Franchise. Anybody not named Kenny, Fran, or Powers. So it's basically the 2 guys that went to RushieZ later on.
But who do you keep? I think I honestly keep RushieZ, though. I keep RushieZ over Icy on that roster.
To fit the spot, probably. Yeah. You never want to doubt Icy's passion, Icy's dedication, Icy's will to win. But Rush, I mean, look at the way he evolved his game. Like, just from being that super slayer when he won that best duo or that best up-and-coming player way back when in Gears 4, I believe it was Season 1. Him and Speedy shared the award or something along those lines. Speedy and Rush just being super slayers all the time. And then you see Rush transform into that guy that can rotate back and forth, do it one way or the other. Then he becomes the secret agent man champion. I mean, there's just, that man has developed his game into whatever his team needed. So you're probably right, brother.
See how I can develop these frags because he gets them uncontested. He's trying to pull him back. I do believe he maybe used one, trying to get Toti off guard. INZEM's being tossed out, trying to cloud him out. And there goes First Blood. INZEM gets taken down. DeTox gets dropped. The revive is almost instantaneous coming out from Avexys, but the 4v3 will continue with Defiance having the man-up advantage.
Now looking for a possible secondary kill here. Cellz in the middle of these lanes is going to get angled out for just a moment. They actually pressure out toward him. They push right into him, forcing him back onto his side of the map, continuing to bounce around, making himself a very difficult target to kill. But, I mean, everybody else just kind of rotated around for Defiance and got the shots on.
I like Toti's risk play to go in and get the INZEMs, because you can kind of see it. RushieZ wasn't necessarily focused on the plat side. They sent RushieZ out wide. They were focused on mainly stopping the sniper, getting some damage, and if RushieZ gets a frag kill, that's great. But he needed to be able to rotate both of those frags because of how late he did throw those over. But we go again, Colin. This is 1st to 6.
Smoke out!
1st to 6 indeed. Smokes are going to come out here from Defiance, trying to get up onto the top of the platform. Let's see what they're able to do here. Here we go. They're going to be able to push forward. Cellz going to drop the incendiary in DeTox's lap. That's a big kill for them. Avexys with the snipe, though. That is the worrying benefactor. It's the thing that I said they had to prevent, and they did not do a good job of it in this round. But they do have the man advantage.
It's not going to be easy, but I feel like INZEM and Avexys need to switch spots here. And like I said, it's not going to be easy because RushieZ is making sure they don't get trapped. He's doing everything in their power to hold as much of the real estate on that side of the map as possible, knowing Defiance has 2, possibly 3 members set up. We know it's 3, but does Avexys? That's the biggest theme, because right now, Kenny is on that left side of the map by himself. He is the biggest push opportunity from RushieZ. It's as soon as they get the information, though. That's what they're lacking here.
Cellz underneath. Oh my God! Did you see Avexys' barrel just looking straight down?
Cellz is like trying to do the math, get his protractor out. Does this hit me? Does the angle there?
My man, I didn't do so hot in geometry, so I'm not the guy to ask. I'll tell you what, though, I saw that barrel come over the top. You see that water? I'd have added to it. I'd have tinkled right down. I'd been like, no, no! I knew it.
Body shots there. Revives are coming out. Kenny's still stuck by himself. Pistol to keep him weak. They have turned this bus around. RushieZ, they want to win this round. They want to tie it up. I want a piece. Avexys cements a headshot onto Toti. Lava, the lonely little wolf, all by himself, getting stormed by 3 bullies.
Lava body shot it on. That's all she said and done. There's no way you're going to come out of that one. So, Jacob, I did say keep the sniper out of Avexys' hands. They did not do that, and we see the outcome of said round.
See, I was about to say, like, Cellz knew exactly the angle in that position. He was confident, to say the least. We don't got player cams, but he was confident he wasn't going to get sniped as long as he was in cover. But like I said, as soon as the information was there that Kenny was by himself, that's RushieZ's only valid push, and they went like they saw a green light from miles away. Again, uncontested frag grenades, even though Kenny does see him out wide, trying to keep that real estate, not get trapped in. Toti gets the INZEMs. First down coming through. INZEM gets caught by himself. And Avexys gets taken out as well. First and second blood. Let's say 3 in a row as DeTox gets shut down. 2v1 though. RushieZ was able to do enough to put this in a 2v1 situation with frags. Both of them going out. Neither one able to connect.
Cellz with the long shot in hand. Lava to his 6 o'clock. 2v1 on a row. There's the body shot for the down. And 2-1. Defiance take the lead right back. That's what they got. Round in and round out, they got to challenge the long shot. They cannot let RushieZ play for it every round.
And now, I just feel like frag grenades from RushieZ just needs to be a little bit better. He's been getting them uncontested, and he hasn't necessarily been picking up some big kills with them. I know me and Blaze had this conversation talking about Shane, Prospect, Gears of War 1. Just because you get 1 elim, just because you get damage, that still doesn't mean it was enough.
Cellz is going to look here as he's going to get flashed on the top side of the platform. Gets that first shot off, but he's going to have to bounce out. I mean, I think it was like, I know there's only 4 players, but it feels like he got 13 flashes thrown at him for the length of time. He was stunned there in the aftermath. Both frags, I believe 1 frag at least went out. Does Kenny have another one? No, he threw both frags. Kenny, though, is 16%ed here. He has to hit a big secondary shot. DeTox, though, finishes him off. That's going to be a 4-3 situation.
Again, he's just getting, I want to say caught out by himself, but that was a pure 1v1 between him and DeTox. Everybody trying to turn around. RushieZ knows to play defense. Lancers out, and it's looking like that damage is reigning supreme. RushieZ, even though they're a step behind, they tie us up at 2 rounds apiece, which for RushieZ, that's good for staying in it, but Defiance, they need to continue to keep the pressure on. And Colin, I ask you, is this something they switch up? Do they continue doing what isn't broken on the side of Defiance?
Defiance has to be able to win that platform fight. When Kenny throws that first frag, I think he has to be a little bit more concise. And I don't want to put the whole round on him, but when he throws the first one and doesn't get a connection, If he saves the second one, he doesn't have to flank. He can just rotate back to his own team's side of the map. They can go for a retake with a singular frag grenade. They can force players from RushieZ into some pretty bad situations. DeTox is going to go down. They're looking for the secondary down on him, but the team revives are through and true for RushieZ. DeTox will get finished off with a snub, though, but look at the way he flies in like Superman. RushieZ is there for the revive.
RushieZ is just a natural-born killer. Cellz towards the outside by himself. Holding the line, making sure nobody goes past. The cross is still there from Kenny, making their lives a nightmare as Defiance once again stay ahead of the curve. 3-2 up against RushieZ.
And RushieZ looking to answer back. I mean, this is the thing that we've seen. These two teams going back and forth. You said that execution might be their strong suit. It might be their strong point because of the legacy that some of these guys on Defiance have. And if you're going to win it, you got to win it. I mean, if you're going to win off of execution, you're looking at what, 2, 3, and 5. You're not really probably going to take those controls away from RushieZ. It is probably their stronger game mode against you. Flashes and smokes out left, right, and center. Cellz is going to go for those incendiaries, gets them and gets away scot-free. Kenny, though, with the frag grenades, throws one, throws the other one. One comes out, no damage, no deaths. Toti, though, is going to get killed. Unsure if Cellz even got to throw the incendiaries.
I don't think he did either. But look at, again, RushieZ. Any single time Defiance wins a round, they come out with a fire. A hot fire to try to even it up as quick as possible. And it's, again, same thing I said about RushieZ. Kenny just needs to be a little bit more accurate with those frag grenades. If he doesn't have the calls that he wants, if he doesn't have the information that he needs, I agree with you. Maybe you hold on to at least one of those, rotate back with your team, and assess their situation from there.
Into this next round, RushieZ rolling off the spawn. RushieZ looking like he might try to challenge up those fragmentation grenades, and he actually gets them. He's going to get tagged up a little bit there. Full red, won't go down, but he has to take cover for just a moment. Cellz tries to push all the way across to get his first kill. Won't be able to get that one. He's going to continue to push out here. I don't believe RushieZ is thrown in a frag grenade. He throws the first one, separates the players from Defiance out. Incendiary from Kenny finds one. A bunch of bounces come in. DeTox tries to get right in the grill of Lava. Lava's going to go down. They're going to angle both of these players out. It is down to 2v3, and if they can't get a kill here, it's going to be all over with crying. Kenny by himself inside of the lane will go down. Final kill comes out. RushieZ take the lead, 4-3.
Trend of round for round, blow for blow, kind of ends with RushieZ finally winning 2 in a row. And this is exactly why I always tell teams, and I said it last map and I'll say it again, you have to get as much of an early lead as possible against the top 4, because as soon as that switch flips, they're just going to become a more dangerous team than ever before, which is hard to say. You got to be able to put a wrench in their gear and not let it be smooth. And that's why you see 4 players going over from Defiance, matched by 4 from RushieZ.
Smokes and flashes yet again. Cellz with those incendiaries is fully tagged up. He's going to try to get away with those incendiaries. Avexys will get away with a long shot. Now Avexys with his most dangerous weapon possible. He'll be looking to maybe get a pick there onto Kenny. Won't be able to find that one. Still looking for just any angle of his head to pop up over the top. Cellz. Does he still have both of those incendiaries? Unsure. They have both of the utility grenades. Yep. So they have at least, what, 2 insta-give situations here, and now one of them got thrown at Avexys. Wouldn't find the connection. Cellz still has another one. Frag off to the left, trying to catch him. Won't find any damage on that either.
He's using these frags like he's me, just chucking them out like candy on Halloween. He needs to have a little bit more trick with that treat, because right now it's just not it. And having one of the biggest weapons, that's a lot of pressure, but he is the multi-time champion that we're talking about. Now the pressure is on Cellz. He has the only non-stock weapon in the form of those instants to try to make something happen. This is where I toss it over to you, because you know this much better than I do. Where is overtime? Does Defiance have a chance to set up with those instants?
Hold on, I gotta point at the minimap while I do this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this will be actually inside of the electronics where everybody's starting to rotate towards. You see the way that they're coming across the middle of the map? They picked out that one person. They're going to continue to force Defiance to make a decision. Which side of the map are you going to try to control here? 3v4, RushieZ with a man advantage. All of Defiance is set up inside of the photo center in the electronics area, waiting for them to push forward into it. INZEM with the new set of incendiaries. New flash grenades picked up by both teams as well. 10 seconds to go. This will be a chance for them to retake, but with those incendiaries, I mean, they are picture perfect. Body shot comes through. Kenny on the flank. He gets 1, he gets 2. Kenny got 2. It's a 1v1 event, no 1v2. Cellz has to go huge, and he can't do it. RushieZ are on map point to go up 2-0 in this series.
I didn't see it, Colin, but I can only guess that Cellz is unable to capitalize on the instance as well. What is going wrong with Defiance and the utility? Duds after duds coming out from Mr. Bounce. Cellz, not the best performance with those frag or the instance either, but he had a great shot there trying to stay alive, only if he kept his eyes on the prize. At the end of the day, like you said, RushieZ now on map point. Moments away from going up 2-0. If Defiance don't play their cards right, Kenny versus RushieZ out wide. Both frag grenades are going to be used. RushieZ trying to get aggressive in this 1v1. Kenny doesn't want to let it go easy. Reaction shot attempt. Both players forced to back down. INZEM grabbing the instance. Kenny not biting off more than he could chew, but the first down and first blood comes in. Toti is out.
This looks like INZEM's chance here. He's going to get that big headshot there by Kenny onto RushieZ. Ties it up at 3-3, and Kenny's trying to find his way back into this fight. Here comes the shot over the top by INZEM, getting that first chunk. Cellz tries to roll away. Kenny will angle them out from the 90 degree. 2-2 now. Down is there. Kenny baits him! Oh, goodness gracious!
That was extraordinary coming out from Kenny from downtown, winning the 1v1 against frag grenades to a round-ending elimination on the other side of the map. He's like MasterCard anywhere you want to be. Whew, just watching this again, just look at absolute perfection at its finest. And then that last one, knowing exactly not to take the bait. Whew, he's here for a champ.
Looking in here, INZEM's going to go for the pick on those incendiaries. Will get them off. Throws one and finds Toti immediately. Just immediately wipes Toti off of the map. 4v3 now. RushieZ are in the driver's seat. They got to be feeling and sitting pretty at this point on map point. INZEM finds a secondary kill onto Cellz. Lava by his lonesome. He's going to go down. He's going to go out 6-4. RushieZ, they will finish off map 2, take a 2-0 lead in the series over Defiance. They will be heading into map 3, our Escalation, with a chance to close it out both in this match and their pool. Can RushieZ do it? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know the answer, you're going to have to find out right after this. Welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is your caster death side of things, as we are still embroiled deeply in this matchup between RushieZ and Defiance. But RushieZ is looking oh so pretty in both of their first maps. They were so dominant on that reactor, ended up finding a way to close it out. This one very close, very winnable by Defiance, but RushieZ, just one too many plays been made, and now they're up 2-0, sitting pretty, looking at map 3 with wide eyes.
Honestly, I feel like what the biggest thing that is propelling RushieZ to be victorious over Defiance, and I could be stupid. Anybody in the chat call me stupid, Colin. I can take the crown away from you, and if you feel like I deserve it, give it to me. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like when it comes down to a simple match like this, it just boils down to who is firing on all cylinders. And right now, I think RushieZ has so much time on their hands. It's much easier for them to get things going. It's much easier for them to work together without saying anything. So the biggest difference right now is just time and experience. At least that's what it looks like on paper. That's what it looks like, just, yeah, plain view, I should say.
I think the thing that I just have the biggest struggle with right now is it's almost like it's watching the growing pains that you don't expect from a team with so many veterans on it, like Defiance. There are moments, there are times where you expect a certain play to either be made or be looked at or be attempted, and next thing you know, it doesn't come through, it doesn't happen, and you're like, man, that's not what you expect. You just expect it to happen. You expect it to be clicking right there, right then and there. And RushieZ, the frightening thing, I don't want to say weird, the frightening thing, the thing that's scary, and I'm talking like Freddy Krueger scary. They have more team kills than Carter's got liver pills in this matchup, and they're still up 2-0. They've been killing each other almost as much as they've been killing Defiance. And I'm sitting here like, how you going to be doing all that and still be styling and profiling on them? What's happening? What's going on with that?
Just styling and profiling. I don't think there's too much styling and profiling yet. Maybe on that first map coming out of RushieZ, but honestly, I think after these first two maps, RushieZ has realized that they're much better than they maybe have counted them for, that they need to begin to tighten up at the beginning of these matches. follow suit like they did in map number 1. Don't let up off the gas because we know Defiance full of championship caliber players. They can come back at any moment.
4v3 over here because RushieZ is sending everybody in the home-to-home stretch. Cellz was trying to wait for the wrap. DeTox hits him with a big old back A. Takes him down, and now Kenny will be all by his lonesome. That's all 3 down. That's all 3 dead. Toti last alive over at the B Hill will be curious as to what his next play will be. As I think all he can do is just mark out players coming across the map and attempt to get kills on them before they pressure into the B Hill.
I like it right now. RushieZ just falling back, calling him out like, hey, getting pushed. I don't know how he went down, but everybody's forced to make a mad dash. INZEM's going to get there with more than enough time to spare. As soon as they get the revive, they're just trying to position themselves. They know the push is not over just yet. Double flashes onto RushieZ. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get dropped. The eliminations are getting picked up as well. That's Toti and Cellz cementing themselves deep into the spawn, but DeTox fighting back on the other side of the map, trying to handle a 1v2. He gets one, almost gets the second one as well, but a chance for a triple cap domination. How quick can RushieZ be to get to the hill? Is the only hope for RushieZ? Does he get a toe in? He does. This one will continue.
Going to continue for now as Cellz is looking around that L-shaped cover, trying to get shots on, gets a big body shot, but isn't able to finish either of those kills. Avexys flies right through him with the up A. Now Avexys looking for his next possible victim here. It'll be Lava versus DeTox over at the B Hill, and now having some help in Kenny. Kenny and Lava, the House of Bounce, trying to hold down the B Hill. Whole lot of bees in that statement, like busy bees and turtle bees. You'll see a bunch of things happening before we possibly see the next rotation from RushieZ. But RushieZ is going to challenge the home hill here. Toti goes down, and now RushieZ knows he's got a little bit of an advantage. Cellz has to try to go for a kill or a down. He gets forced right into the back A in the waiting, loving arms of RushieZ. He takes him down. Trading out home hills here.
They got to work together to make sure on the same page, because right now they're fighting separate fights. 2 different 1v1s. INZEM versus Kenny. But INZEM's going to get some help, and he doesn't need it, though. Kenny gets taken down. Cellz, Lava, everybody is just getting angled out. They're dropping one by one by one. And if you look at the score, RushieZ, they have some coming back to do. But with this 2 hills to 1, they are barely going to get the win condition on their side. Defiance, they need a decap for a couple of seconds.
Looking to try to get that decap like you talked about. Defiance still up in the point situation. Kill comes through from Cellz. Cellz is looking to get some help here. He stayed on that cover in case DeTox got hit enough. Beautiful reaction shot there for the down. They're going to fly here toward the A-Hill. Go for the decap and the retake here. Before the respawns come off, it's going to be up to INZEM and RushieZ. One player going low to the bottom middle. The other player going straight up into their grill. Avexys! Oh, goodness gracious. Gets a kill onto Lava. Cellz dodges that first flash grenade and then gets taken out. Only a few more moments remain in this one as 3 players from RushieZ can basically pick and choose their poison. Where do they want to go on the map? Avexys full red. Not going to be strong enough to take that fight as Toti. They're going to get the decap here at the C Hill, and RushieZ is going to make a comeback in round number 1, Jacob.
To me, that's not something you want to have happen, because all that does is obviously it defeats you as a team. You have it in the bag. You only needed to hold on to 1 hill. You kind of get separated, and that's not what you want to have happen on the other side for RushieZ. That is such a confidence boost, especially after the last 2 maps, seemingly like they can do almost no wrong.
I mean, without a doubt, RushieZ has been putting their best foot forward all day long. If you needed a dance partner that knew how to boogie oogie oogie out here, you had to take their hand and go out in the middle of the floor with the bright lights on a big stage and show everybody your most stylish moves. Because them boys, they got all eyes on them right now, Jacob. They got everybody just looking at them, and they're coming through in spades. That's the thing that I said. That's what I'm getting at. I say it worries me that they have got more team kills than anybody on the map right now, and they're still up 2-0 Defiance. That's the kind of stuff that makes them scary.
It does make them scary. You can imagine them in a fight, just blindly swinging at every single thing under the sun. If their teammate can get it, their teammate can get it at the end of the day. They're not going to leave anybody left to move as RushieZ gets backed up, dodges the stun. Cellz hot on his trails, not wanting to let RushieZ get the decap, and you see him turn to his pistol to try to put that damage, but pistol versus pistol. Cellz, the Boltok, comes out on top. Back to back Defiance goes as Kenny finds number 2. He gets taken out by INZEM, who's hunting for his next target. It looked like it's going to be in the form of Toti, who's doing a good job, shot after shot. He might be the one with the advantage here if he could just finish off one of these eliminations. Reinforcements are there, but are they there in time? No, they are not, as Toti will continue to fall.
Now you see what INZEM's attempting to do here. Hold down the backside of this tank, waiting for somebody to try to rotate toward him. He's actually going to back up here, starts to put those Lancer shots out. You know, I'm not going to lie to you, Jacob. It just hit me that Avexys and INZEM are basically playing a little bit of, you know, remember Reach out here. They're playing a little Halo Reach, playing as cat and a meal. I just know it just dawned on me, bro.
A dynamic duo. They make sure it represents everywhere they go, as INZEM and Avexys are on respawn right now. RushieZ, he's getting pressured by two different players in the form of Kenny and Toti. Finally, he's going to get dropped down. Elimination's going to go over. Another hill is going to be secured, but Cellz waiting over on the enemy side of the map. This is not where you want to be because you did everything right on the other side, but then you give up a huge advantage by getting taken out in no man's land.
Now they're looking to try to get a retake here as Kenny will push up into the home hill of RushieZ, but he gets taken out by INZEM. Beautiful double bounce. Back to back. My man's got button inputs for days after fighting games got into his blood and his heart. My man just did the same thing 2 times. He said, bounce, bounce, back A, bounce, bounce, back A. I can do this all day. Ask your brother about me.
And you got those two elims. Lava just getting caught out there by himself. They're just not using their teamwork right. Toti, Kenny stuck in the revive chain. They both get dropped regardless. Once again, back-to-back rounds. RushieZ will secure that triple cap domination and go up 2-0. Colin, what have you seen so far from Defiance? Do you need major adjustments? Is it minor adjustments? Lay it on me.
I think Defiance has to put down a power weapon and start winning a team fight. They keep finding themselves just getting killed like one after the next. It's staggering. It's where we saw the double button input by INZEM. It's where we see them slowly start to fall apart when you can see one player after the next getting picked off. The best way to counteract that is to fight together, try to get wiped or stay alive as a unit. And they put down the long shot over at the helicopter. So getting a little bit of what I want here.
Command, be advised we are ready to beat some ass.
All 4 players from RushieZ going on this side of the map. Avexys, you know how deadly he can be with that bull talk. Usually RushieZ tries to leave it on just a little bit longer, allow him to go to work with it as Cellz gets caught out, stunned out as well. He's going to get dropped. Toti soon to follow. That's 2 quick eliminations off the initial. Sniper now into the hands of DeTox, and man, this is going to be a scary sight. We know DeTox is the jack of all trades, especially when it comes to those power weapons.
See what they can do here is DeTox will push forward toward B, just checking his corners, making sure that nobody is waiting in the wings to possibly get a kill on him. We'll go to pick out the long shot for just a moment. I believe they've gotten the call out of where Lava is. Over here to the C hill. Back over to Lava. Lava trying to get up onto DeTox, trying to stop him from being able to use that long shot. He's going to get shot 3 times and go down. Triple cap domination starting to ensue. A down is there and through. RushieZ up 3-0 here, continuing to dominate the sector.
Yeah, this is looking like little by little Defiance is just falling apart. I like what they were able to do in execution because it's round-based. They start over. They don't have to worry about catching up at any moment. They fell short. This is very, very similar with the rounds, but when it comes down to it, RushieZ is taking so much position. They're taking an early advantage at the start of the game, but it just doesn't seem like Defiance has the same gas left in the tank that they had throughout the first 2 maps. I think this is going to be a real defining round, because if you go down 3-0 from RushieZ, if you let them believe they are on fire like it looks like, I think that is what's going to be the final nail in the coffin.
Smoke out!
Without a doubt, 2 more rounds to win for Defiance to possibly lose this 3-0. Let's see what RushieZ could do here as they continue on their march to victory. Smokes come out. Nobody's able to pick that long shot just yet. Flashes are going to be thrown left, right, and center. DeTox is going to get angled out by the Lancer and then shot over the top by Toti, trying to get that finishing blow. Toti hitting a few big shots right there, but not enough to really put INZEM in a bad spot to go down until the Lancer fire is through and true. And the cleanup comes through from Toti. 1v1 here with Avexys and Lava. Avexys going for the reaction shot. Doesn't hit the first one, but steadies himself for the second shot, gets the down, and the kill will bleed out. And now we'll look across toward the C hill to try to offer up some help.
Like DeTox taking his time, knowing he doesn't have to bite off more than he can chew. Just wait a few seconds. Reinforcements are going to be there, and he can continue to go to work with that sniper. Body shots are still a ton of damage, which is going to force a lot of players to back down at any moment. 2 more shots left in the chamber, though, for DeTox. And spotted out. You hear or basically see the information being relayed in your minimap with everybody making the proper adjustments.
Almost gave a haircut there to old Queen Mirror. I'm not sure exactly what she's got going on under that helmet that she's been rocking since Gears 3, but Lord knows she wouldn't have to worry about it if he'd have pulled the trigger on that one. DeTox now pulling up into the fight. A couple of shots coming through. Looking for the shot over the top, but no need. Not necessary. RushieZ, they're only going to get their home hill back for a moment, but 2 players down for Defiance, and Defiance will have to readjust yet again off of respawn. They're at 2-1 hill advantage, but Lava's about to get 2v1, drops a flash at his cubby. The big first shot misses the back A, but INZEM up A's right around the corner into the easy one-shot chunk of Lava. Now Lava will actually have some help over here, so it might be on RushieZ's behest to have to win the fight on the opposite side of the map.
Already DeTox connected with a headshot onto Cellz. They chase down Toti onto the home hill. That puts pressure right here for this 2v2 on this side of the map. Getting alleviated inch by inch as Avexys goes down. INZEM trying to put out that sweet, sweet damage to try to back down a player. Lava goes down, 1v1. INZEM versus Kenny. This brings back memories of the 1v1 on Exhibit from so many seasons ago. 1v1, 1v2, it doesn't matter because INZEM comes out on top.
Won the battle. They might win the war if they can continue to get a couple of kills here. Another down comes through. Triple cap domination begins to be ensued. And this will be another round in the books for RushieZ momentarily after this kill and the recap by RushieZ. 4-0, 1 round away from perfection in map 3.
Typically here, you know as well as I do, I'd be screaming for some sort of drop shot, something big center line. There's a sniper on one side of the map. I'm not sure that's the play, though. I honestly don't know what will help Defiance bring it back. They're going to need a quick round to stop the momentum. That's not going to shift it on over to their side, but that's still not going to be enough. They need perfection at its finest in order to win this map, and already you see shot grenades versus incense. Bold talks are out as well on the side of RushieZ, and that's where it kind of scares me a little bit. The bold talk in the hands of Avexys.
See what happens here. Round number 5, first round of the second half, as we have the hills flip. That mid-neutral hill going over to the helicopter. The home hills being separated as well. Shock in the hands of Avexys will look to throw this one deep to stop. Oh, goodness gracious. That first 2 shots had to hurt. My man has to take 2 Advil and call somebody in the morning. That's a headache waiting to happen. They get the kills. Only player really left alive to push out anybody from RushieZ. Rotate up to the top side of the ramp and give Lancer fire back down in tow. RushieZ waiting in the wings for maybe 1 kill. Gets Cellz, but gets taken out. And Defiance will have the 2-1 hill advantage as they have the mid-neutral and the home hill.
He burned the sniper? I believe he might have burned the sniper.
He burned the sniper. He burned it. He picked it up and immediately backpack.
I feel like that was calculated. That wasn't just him trying to pick up the sniper. It was, let me get the sniper, make sure they don't get it. And if I stay alive, that's bonus. I'll be able to go to work. But right now, Defiance, 2 hills to 1. Starting to rack up that score line, but after what we've seen early on in this same match, the scoreline almost doesn't matter because RushieZ at 1 foul swoop can eliminate your entire team and make it backfire. Cellz trying to dodge the flash. He's going to get stunned, forced to back up, and that stun does so much. He gets dropped. Kenny now in a 1v2 situation. Great shots on a DeTox, but DeTox firing back. Ooh, playing with each other, playing with their food, but you not know who this man is. It's Mr. KennyBounce himself.
Big back A out. KennyBounce gets the kill there and will continue to hold sway and court over their home hill and the mid-neutral. This could be the first round going in favor of Defiance here, as RushieZ will need pretty much a perfect set of slays to be able to overtake the entirety of the map. Kenny just marking players off of respawn, continuing to let them know where the information needs to go, where it's been gathered up. That new long shot will spawn here momentarily. So the fight at E-Hill will become a pretty important one. 30 seconds left on that one, so you know that the push is going to have to come before that thing respawns to try to prolong the round. RushieZ inside of the E-Hill, gets that first shot off with the bolt hog, but then Toti gets full redded, I believe. RushieZ went down behind those covers.
Damn. A big one right there, but they're still in that same position for the most part. As soon as Defiance reached that 200-point mark, it's a triple neutralization or nothing. Now coming off of this one, INZEM of Avexys. They're trying to get the decap onto 1. It does come through, but they're recapturing F, which gets broken. The neutral is still intact. It's going to be a big miracle if they can make it happen, and they don't even get close. Defiance will win their first round of this map.
A round on the board finally for Defiance here in the second half against RushieZ. I'm unsure if they'll be able to build up, but so much momentum off of that. RushieZ has played really well this entire matchup, and I mean, they were dominant in the first half. Coming into the second half here, Toti hovering over the new Boltok will place that one down. Meanwhile, RushieZ, they could very well have a retro if they so wish to have one, and they do put it down. That's an easy weapon to actually bring in to that long shot fight if you really wish to. The way that it plays out, you could have somebody pick it up pretty quickly and then come straight down if you're going to play defense there early rather than later. Instead, they send that player straight over to the shock. That'll be Avexys. Avexys, no, he's just getting the shock, not getting the retro as well.
See Lava, though, spots out his opponent, trying to make sure he sees and trying to figure out where's this rotation coming through. Trades of kills going down on the initial. Kenny with that INZEM to kind of fire back, bringing it down to 1v1 on both of these sides of the maps here. And Lava's going to be the first one. Shots from above. Avexys trying to lead the charge, but I like the way Lava knows there's nothing towards the tank. There's not a hill. There's not a weapon. There's no reason to be over there.
See Kenny up top of the Boltok. Looks to get that first shot off. Does get some connection there. DeTox is continuing to rotate out. I believe RushieZ has called out that they're going to pressure over toward the F hill, and now they're talking about it. That's the only explanation for them going back and forth so many times.
And it almost was looking like a clean one, but he was in motion. The shot wasn't as accurate as it should have been as DeTox finally getting in towards the fray. Decap and capture coming through. Whew. DeTox trying to hit the tip of the head there as the damage is still reigning supreme as Kenny not letting him go off of that damage. RushieZ does look like they're finally going to be backing up, but they're just trying to catch a couple players out of position. That's Toti, that's Kenny on one side of the map, Lava and Cellz on the other.
Big down there, getting the kill onto Lava. Meanwhile, Defiance has gone for the mid-neutral to the opponent's home hill split. I believe RushieZ has a call out here onto Cellz. Cellz is going to get captured in just a moment because I believe he's about to get pressured out by two different players from RushieZ. Meanwhile, INZEM at the home hill. Retro shots out, gets a ton of damage. Not going to be able to continue that reign of terror. Avexys flies in. Beautiful shot after the down for the kill. The cleanup, though, comes through, and then shortly after, a new down for Avexys is there. Home-to-home split being enacted by Defiance right now. Cellz trying to get one kill, bouncing around as best he can. Unbelievable reaction shot and movement by Cellz to even get one of those kills. RushieZ will take their home hill back here momentarily. This one is on a knife's edge, Jacob, very close together.
Oh, the body shot. That's the big body shot, but Kenny is back one. Damage is there, though. DeTox easily able to clean that one up and take notice. Avexys picking up the sniper. They're dishing out the ammo. So RushieZ does have two snipers under control. Toti finds RushieZ slipping, not seeing him there from a mile away. Bait and switch and back and forth. They're trying to use the teamwork, but Toti gets taken down. That leaves Lava there by himself in another 2v1, but INZEM doesn't need help. He takes them both out by himself as RushieZ. They're looking to close this one out, but the neutral is going to get decapped. If Defiance can capture that right here, right now, I got to imagine the win condition going over.
INZEM on top of that cover, looking at Toti now. Goes for the back A, won't be able to get it off. He's going to be full red. Backs down toward the bottom side of the stairwell. Defiance will have the win condition. 20 seconds to go, but they have to hold on to this. They cannot give up a retake in any way, shape, form, or fashion. RushieZ will push up here to the top side of that cover, gets the down. Now the kill comes through. Two players from RushieZ in the hill. There's the decap. Kenny will get inside of the home hill of RushieZ. Flash will come out. Avexys might push straight at him. Big first shot is there. Now looking to try to get the secondary one for the reaction shot. Won't be able to get that one either. If they get the cap off, it is going to be all over with the crying. 245, 246. Can they get the neutralization in time? It's not enough. It's not in time. RushieZ, they win it 5-1, and they win it 3-0.
Taking down Defiance in a clean fashion in terms of maps, but Colin, that was anything but clean. You got to give Defiance credit yet again. RushieZ knew of a team that they are, storming in towards this major, claiming themselves that spot in pool play. When it comes down to it, it's just not enough time, not enough experience on their side. RushieZ take it in 3. Colin, when I break down that match, what do you think was the biggest variable in terms of success for RushieZ and the biggest variable that you think kind of hurt Defiance?
1v1 win percentage. I saw more players from RushieZ win more 1v1s than Defiance did time and time again, whether it be in the control, the execution, or that escalation. There were times where somebody had to get a big fight win to either apply pressure on a different side of the map or at least maintain momentum by shutting down their side of the map. I saw RushieZ win those 1v1s more often than not. Those winning percentages matter a whole hell of a lot if you were to look back across the entire 3 maps of how the makeup changed.
My man Colin, appreciate you, brother. Follow that here back alongside Ribs and Brian Fools to break down quite a bit of action. We had a 3-0 crispy RushieZ win, followed by the Abuelos y los Nuetos closing things out. Props to them for doing that against a Hive squad that's like so close but so far. But first things first, let's talk about the RushieZ match. 3-0 win for RushieZ. Let's start walking through the highlights of that one. Ribs, RushieZ is looking pretty solid.
Yeah, we said they have a sense of urgency. They know it's now or never. If they're ever going to get that first win under the banner of RushieZ, it's got to be now. So, I mean, they come out on Reactor. First time we saw Reactor all day, and they put on a master class on how to play that map. Even with a few team kills that they had on the first and second map, Colin brought it up. They're killing each other more than the other team is killing them, and they're still winning. So RushieZ is looking very, very strong on the side of Defiance. A lot of stuff that needs to be worked out. But like I said, I don't see that killer look in the eyes of Defiance that I see in RushieZ right now. Defiance on paper, a great roster, but I kind of just think this is a pickup team, and they don't really have that brotherhood that RushieZ has right now, and it shows in the gameplay. RushieZ looking so strong. Another 3-0 today, Ryan. We've had like 3 3-0s and 1 3-1. So far, the schedule is just moving along so smoothly.
No, it certainly is, and I believe RushieZ has won every single one of their matches 3-0 so far, so they have definitely been cruising. And that
F1 got one. F1 got one, remember?
I guess F1.
Oh, 3-1? Okay.
Yeah, F1 got one.
They're looking dominant other way.
Don't forget that first F1 map.
F1 starts up 1-0 against everyone. So, I kind of forgot. So. But no, the RushieZ has been looking very, very strong, of course, and this Defiance team obviously looking okay as well. I'd say, like Jordan said, they're a team that's probably not as practiced as a team like RushieZ, and we talked about them potentially getting that second map. That second map execution was very, very close, but end of the day, RushieZ were the ones that came out on top. They're looking hot. And obviously this team has their sights set on Sunday, right? This team has their sights set on Champ Bracket. This team, like Jordan said, has a ton of urgency. You can see it in the gameplay, and they're kicking off the day strong. They're going to go home, probably eat a good meal, and keep it moving.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Jordan. At the end of the day, this Defiance squad is so talented, but it's not like a must-win. The brotherhood, the urgency from this squad is just not the same. Obviously, they're competitive. Trust me, they want to win. They're doing whatever it takes. They scrim, they practice, they prepare for this tournament. They know it's a significant opportunity to take home a big chunk of a prize pool. But RushieZ is playing for so much more. They're playing for each other. They're playing for Avexys' first championship, DeTox's first championship, INZEM, same thing. And honestly, playing for the banner of RushieZ, an organization that we've talked about has been here through thick and thin, supporting Gears Esports since Gears 4, early on in Gears 4. It's about time they earn a championship trophy, and hopefully this is the tournament. Do you think that they can do it, Ribs?
I think they can. I mean, we're going to have to see what Champ Bracket looks like for them. They did the first part, right? You got to go one day at a time, one match at a time. First part going 3-0 here in pool play. That solidifies that they're going to go into Champ Bracket with a bye tomorrow. That solidifies that they're not going to play against one of those top 3 seeds tomorrow right off the bat. If they don't have KCP on their side of the bracket, I think they can make it to a winners finals. There's still so much Gears left to play. RushieZ has done this before to us. They've won a pro league. They've gone 3-0 so many times in day one. We still need to see what form they bring to the table tomorrow. But first part of the job is done. Congrats to RushieZ. 3-0 today in pool play.
Dominant and disciplined, as franchise said. Maybe his legacy lives on with this squad. Let's take a look at the pool play standings overall, though. RushieZ 3-0, handling business not as swimmingly as Pittsburgh Knights and United have so far. They, of course, still have a match to play. Same with the Kansas City Pioneers, but so far have not dropped a single map, which is crazy to see. Our next matchup is obviously going to be United versus Abuelos y sus Nietos, coming off a win there against Hive. We'll see if United can keep that streak alive, but geez, that is a perfect start for our perfect teams, Ryan.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, the teams that coming into this that you would think are looking like the top 4 teams so far taking care of business. You're seeing it at the top of each one of these pools. We had a very, very close match between Hive and Abuelos. That could have made that pool D a little interesting, but we're seeing a lot of kind of what we call business as usual in pool play, right? No big upsets to report just yet. I'm very curious to see this sort of Fury 1 versus MC matchup. That's kind of the last one to me that really, really sticks out the most.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Not sure if we have a schedule graphic available. If not, all good. But keep in mind, you can catch up all the action for these final matches. United versus Abuelos will be on the main stream right here. But then you can go to twitch.tv/UMG Gaming for a Bravo stream, UMG Charlie for a Charlie stream, and UMG Delta for the D stream. So keep that in mind, as we, of course, are going to have all 4 matches live stream. But it's going to be pretty darn exciting to have this E-United matchup live on main stage here in a little bit. Before we do that, though, however, we do have Colin, the Crow Clark, live with DeTox, looking to host his first trophy. Colin, over to you.
Thank you so much, John. DeTox, thank you so much for joining me, taking some time out of your day after a big win and a big securing of first place in your pool. How you feeling after that win?
It was good. I'm not satisfied. We didn't play perfect. We didn't play to the best of our abilities. You know what I mean? But it was fun. It was boring, but it was fun.
Well, I'll try to hit you with some pretty quick questions here. See how you guys and try to judge and gauge how you're feeling about the rest of the weekend. Early dominance in your controls. You guys have had some great success on hills 1, 2, and 3. Is that practiced bravado because you guys know that you'll probably see those hills again later in the map?
On hills 1, 2, and 3, yeah. Usually we like to kick up or try to have quick starts, because once you have a quick start in control, it's like foot on their neck for the rest of the time you're playing that map. You know what I mean? So it's like don't let them breathe, kind of thing. So we want to have at least the first 2 or first 3 hills go up at least 120. You know what I mean, 160, however much. I mean, and then control the rest of the game.
Completely understand that. Do you feel like teams are struggling in the pick and ban process against you all? It seems like RushieZ has really expanded their map pool, so it's almost like it doesn't matter where you guys are playing. Teams are just struggling to even get on the good foot because you guys have such a massive map pool this weekend.
I mean, yeah, like we've put a lot of practice into a lot of different maps. So it's like pick your poison. We ban the maps we ban, and it's just pick what map you want to get beat up on. Like that's all it is.
I love that answer. Pick what map you want to get beat up on. And something that really has kind of shined out to me throughout you guys' gameplay today. Y'all have had some incredible successes in 1v percentages. You guys keep finding yourselves in 1v situations where somebody's either got to win that 1v to gain momentum or shift the momentum back in you all's favor. Can you attest to what you guys are doing in practice that might be helping you with that 1v percentage?
With 1v percentages, you just look at who's on my team. Like, look at all of us. We don't. It's like we have demons. Like, pick who you want to play against. Like, pick who you want to get beat up by. It's the same thing. Like, it's demons all around the map. You got to deal with Jay bouncing at you. You got to deal with Lenny just actually outplaying you. You have to deal with Rush literally going forward, but then he can completely stop and change his playstyle. And then me, I just do whatever. It don't matter. So,
hey, that's brilliantly answered. I love the faith you have in your teammates. I'm going to ask you this. You just said that you guys have really put in the work to expand your map pool for this weekend. Do you believe that you guys worked smarter or harder this last offseason in this split to expand that map pool? Which of those two do you think better stylizes what you guys had to do?
I'm going to say it right now. He don't get enough praise. Affinity, period. Like, Affinity, my coach, Affinity, is the best coach in the game. I don't care. Like, and because of him is why our map pool got better, because we realized our issues, because why we're playing better as a team completely. Like, this is the most confident I've been with a roster in a long time. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to be here. I just wanna win with my teammates, period.
I'm sure the fans of RushieZ love to hear that. One last question for you, and it's something that I touched on all day long when it came against y'all's matchup against Defiance. Are the team kills starting to worry you guys, or is it more impressive that you guys are killing each other and still giving people the backhand?
Hey, man, team kills come with the game, man. So it is what it is. None of us get mad. It's just like, keep going. Like, you know what I mean? It's whatever.
Well, DeTox, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations again. You said the work is not done. You got a long run through championship bracket to go. Any teams you're looking forward to possibly getting that revenge on the most?
Revenge on the most? Whoever's at the top of each pool, I want all of them.
Ooh.
So I don't care. Like, whoever it is, they know who they are. I want PK, I want United, I want KCP, I want all of them. Don't matter.
Well, you might have a chance to get each and every one of them. We've got 2 more days left of this major, and we've got 1 more match left tonight. Thank you so much for your time, DeTox. I truly appreciate you, sir.
Always, Colin. You already know.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.